So with all of these beautiful analogies we are seeing, aren't we saying that some Navamsha is something which is a craftsman of a great creator? So much of symphony, so much of synchronization, so much of deep thought processes are there in this construction of the Navamsha. So today we learned a certain concepts. The first concept we learned from the Navamsha is the first four rashis of the Navamsha is Brahma, Trimurti, Nakshatra, which means if you find any planets there, they have to origination is always Ketu, Sun, sorry, Ketu, Moon, or Jupiter's nakshatra only can bring the planets in the Navamsha to the first four signs. Aries to Cancer. Next four signs in the Navamsha, Leo to Scorpio. Those are Vishnu Trimurti nakshatras, which means what are Vishnu Trimurti? Venus, Mars, and Saturn's nakshatra can only bring planets posited in these four signs in the Navamsha. And lastly, the last four signs of the Navamsha in anybody's Navamsha, which is from Sagittarius to Pisces, those four signs are Shiva Trimurti because the Shiva Trimurti nakshatras are, which are those Sun, Rahu, and Mercury. If they have planets you are seeing between Sagittarius, they have to come from these nakshatras. Okay. And in the Navamsha, it is believed if it is coming in either Aquarius or Pisces, there is a lot of release and liberation that you will be doing in this life for that planet. Whatever planet in your Navamsha is sitting in Shiva Trimurti rashis of Aquarius and Pisces, they are said to be highly liberating you. Many people with great saints and bhakti and moksha path who want to go and they go on the path of wanting to seek moksha, liberation, you will find their planets are congregating in the Navamsha of either Aquarius or Pisces, because if they come from Rahu's nakshatra, third pada and fourth pada of Rahu's nakshatra, they are called as Duritamsha pada. Durita means you have to really go and seek depth, and you will have struggles also. There will be a lot of trials and tribulations that you might be going through, especially if they come from Rahu's third and fourth. Although Rahu's fourth, I said, nakshatra is Pushkara Navamsha pada. So that is one concept. Second concept we learned is the concept of Vargottama. Totally, we have 12 Vargottama padas out of 108 nakshatra padas. We have 24 Pushkara Navamsha pada out of 108 Navamsha padas. And out of 108, we have 8 padas which are called as Ashtamamsha padas. If a planet is sitting in a Chara Rashi, which means movable sign in the D1, and if it transpose itself into a Chara Rashi 1, 4, 7, 10 in the Navamsha, that means that can easily be resolved by doing karmas or upayas easily, because Chara means movable. Karmas are movable. Now, if they go from a Chara Rashi in the D1 to a dual sign, lot more efforts are required, because they will go into 3, 6, 9, and 12 Rashis in the Navamsha. That means you might have to do a little more deeper sadhana, and efforts need to be there put to release that karma from. And the toughest is if they go from a Chara Rashi to a Sthira Rashi. They become very difficult to move. But if they are going from a sthira rashi to a sthira rashi, which means from a fixed sign in the D1 to a fixed sign in the Navamsha, don't even go there, because there is no way you can find release, because it is hardened prarabdha karma.